podcast most about knitting, but we're gonna visit other places too. I'm coming from Sweden. I'm living in the middle part of Sweden. My name is Emilia. I live here with my 4 children and my husband on the old farm in a generation living with my mom and dad in the house next by my house. We have a lot of animals like chickens, turkeys, ducks, rabbits and dogs. So probably it's gonna be noisy sometimes, but it's almost possible that it's gonna be my children who you can hear, because in the room behind me, that's my living room, and the room above me is my biggest son, my oldest kid's room. So I hope they can keep quiet a little time for me. English is not my first language, it's Swedish, so bear with me. I will do my best to pronounce everything right, I hope. I have been knitting for 21 years now. I was 11 when my grandmother taught me how to knit. She first taught me how to do the garter stitch, and then the stockinette, and the reverse garter stitch, of course. No, the reverse stock stitch, I meant. So I'm pretty happy that she teach me how to knit, because today is my biggest passion in life, except my family and my children's, of course. Yeah, but I also do crochet. I was 25 when I learned how to crochet, not of my grandma, but of my best friend Anneli. She teach me how to crochet. She's really good at it, and I stick with it for a period of time, but then I fall back to knitting again. I did start knitting more frequently, or more addicted to, maybe I should say it, when I was pregnant with my first child. That's my son, who's named David. He's 13 years old now. He's a hockey goalie, so you will also meet him, because it's probably gonna be some podcast in the ice hole when he is practicing or when he has tournament, because I'm the chicken heart of this family. Because he's a goalie, I get so scared when all the people come and they play so rough, but I love to see them play. But sometimes I just cannot watch. I'm so scared it's gonna get hurt, or somebody in his team is gonna be hurt or something. So I mostly knit because I don't want a heart attack. Ooh. Then I have a daughter who's 10, soon to be 11. She's gonna be the one who does all the music to my podcast. She's named Miss Tuva. She's playing guitar. She wants to learn how to play piano really soon. She plays in a lot of church around where we live, so I have promised her that I will have an episode there, including when she's playing guitar in church. She can sing. She is really good to sing, but she don't want to sing. She don't want anyone to hear her when she sings, but she's really good at singing. So that's a little bad, but she plays guitar in church anyway. So probably around Christmas I will have an episode when she's playing in church. It's really cozy and beautiful around Christmas when they are playing in church. And peaceful. So it was a little bit about my biggest children, but I told you I have 4 children. Then I have my youngest son. His name is Victor, or Victory. He's the most beautiful little boy. He's always by my side and playing, and he's like to do crafts. He really do love to paint and color books, and he tried to learn how to knit. That's pretty funny. So he used to sit with me in the couch and look how who I do, and then he trying to do it but it's most gonna be the knitting needles right into the skein of yarn, and then he used to put it on the outside and more like sew it together in the hanks of yarn with my cable needles. So but he's probably gonna be a knitter, I hope. Then I have my youngest one, a little girl, who name's Alva. She's 3 years old. She's a little princess, she thinks. She is all about dresses and sparkly shoes and jewelries, and she's a real princess and a real drama queen too. So she's pretty funny though. But the 2 youngest children, you're not gonna see us so much on this podcast. They might appear sometimes when I have knitted on something new, because I think they are too little to decide if they want to be on my podcast or not. So I'm gonna keep them more in private, because I think privacy is a big and huge part of life, and maybe more people can think of. Don't include their children in everything they do. That's my thinking of it. So I respect their privacy a lot. Even so, my husband, he probably gonna appear here too, but not in my knitting podcast, but when I go visit my dad in garage 174, because my husband and my dad used to repair cars together, so they will always be dirty if I visit them. So that's the true side of life with 2 crazy boys with cars. That is the biggest interest of life, I think. So, and you're also gonna meet my mother. She's gonna take us out in the forest close by. I almost live in the forest, so it's not a big walk, but I like nature, and I like to walk with my mom in the forest. So she's gonna take us on some adventures and speak about like old Vikings graves and stuff. We have a lot of this in my area there I live, so I hope you will like that too. But the knitting will come with me, because the knitting is always with me. If I walk, then I knit. If I sit, I knit. If I stand, I probably knit. So we're also gonna visit my neighbor and my dear friend Johan. He have a company whose name is Adventure North, and he do lots of exploring and adventure out in the wildlife. So I'm gonna go on some adventure with him too, into the woods and probably some picnic or something with the coast. And yeah, he's a real kind-hearted guy, and probably the only one I know who's probably one day just gonna fly in, literally fly in from the sky, just to have a cup of coffee with me and my family. So he's I used to call him an adrenaline junkie. I think he is. Right now he is high north in Sweden, the highest north in Sweden you can be on a hike. So you cannot meet him this episode, but he will appear a lot, I promise. Yeah, there was a little bit about my family and friends. So a little bit more of some hard stuff. In the end of March this year, I did have surgery on my left shoulder, and yeah, it didn't went well, not at all. I did surgery on a Wednesday, and I did go on under anesthesia with 8 in the morning, and I woke up with 10, and I was back home again with, I think, maybe 2 o'clock in the afternoon or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I cannot remember, but I had a big surgery that day, and they sent me home the same day. I think I had just be awake for like 2 hours before my husband come back and pick me up and took me home. And before the surgery, I had waiting for the surgery for almost a year. During COVID and other stuff, the waiting list was very long, and this was a hard wait because I was in a lot of pain, and I couldn't sleep well, didn't feel well at all. So, but it didn't get pretty much better after this, because 2 days after this surgery, I realized that my arms didn't work at all, not at all. It did just hang by my side, and I couldn't lift it up. I couldn't move it at all. I couldn't keep it in place either. I tried everything. I didn't have any type of a feeling and sense through all my arms. It felt like I didn't have an arm, probably, and it felt that I didn't have a thumb either, because the whole arm and my thumb was whole paralyzed, and I was in a horrible pain. I have never felt a so horrible pain in my whole life, and I have had 4 surgery operations on my shoulders before, 2 on my right and 2 on my left before this operation. So I got really freaked out and stressed out, so I called back to my surgeon, and he told me I have to go back, and I did go back, and I got to meet specialized surgeon doctor on nerves, and they checked all my nerves. They did a MR scan and a CT scan, and they had some needles with electricity and put it under my skin into my muscles and my nerves, and do it with some electrodes on my outside of the skin, and they couldn't not find some connection with my nerves up in the plexus nerve braid at all. So he told me that I had an emergency nerve damage. So I had to go to the capital of Sweden, like Stockholm, and meet some really super special doctors and surgeons on just nerves, and they decided that I had to have a new operation. So then they cut up me through the neck and try to repair a bit of it so my hand can function properly, and it do today. I'm happy about that, but my arm is still paralyzed. So it was a hard blow with 4 children, 2 very young and 2 bigger children who have a lot of activities going on in their life. And everyone who's a mom knows that it takes lots of energy to have a family, to have children. And when you're not feeling good, not in your head, not in your body, it's not an easy dance, if I say so. So I'm happy that I have my knittings because they keep me from unravel. But as you saw in the beginning of this podcast, the name is Between Knitting Needles and Mentally Breakdowns, and that's what I call life today. So I will take you with me on this journey. It's gonna be very much hospital visits, but my knitting will come too, and I will probably have a few not a few, I will probably have many projects with me. So I have a lot of time to knit, that's for sure, because I cannot work for now. I hope I can soon when I'm finished with all of the surgeries and they find something good through this nerve pain, so I can go back and sleep probably again, because today I sleep 1 to 3 hours. If I'm happy, I can sleep for 3 hours before I wake up again. So I'm knitting in the days, I'm knitting in the evenings, I'm knitting in the nights, I'm knitting in the mornings, but I'm not knitting when I'm on the toilet. I promise. Probably I'm gonna knit in the bedroom too sometime. Yes. So that was the hard part. No, we're not gonna talk about that. I'd be happy if I don't have to, because my mental health when it comes to this is not a good one, if I say so. It's hard. It really is. But I'm doing my best. I'm trying my best. So back to the knitting. The first one I have with me is one finished garment. This is a sweater I did for my husband not long ago. I will insert pictures in the end of this episode, I promise, because I have a big and hard time to show it with just one arm. So I made hate this one, and it's made in merino wool. It's like super soft. I think the merino wool was from maybe Drops. I cannot remember. I will put it in the show notes down under, I promise. So, and I will link the pattern to all the things I show you also in the description below. So this is one of the finished ones. I have a lot more finished projects, but not so many with me. I'm gonna talk about that soon. But I took with me and once more. This I made for my sister-in-law. She's a real Harry Potter fan, and this is the Hufflepuff crow. So I made her this one. It's also in merino. It's the leftovers for his cardigan and his sweater, not the cardigan, his sweater, and also some of the leftovers for another cardigan I did last summer, and this color, this yarn, I have hand dyed myself. I used to hand dye a lot of yarns, use natural colors and natural dyings with all of the plants I can find in my mom's garden right outside my door. She has the most beautiful garden. Oh wow, she has so beautiful roses and flowers and plants, you name it. She's so good at gardening. I'm just happy if one plant or flower will survive a whole week in my house. So good am I to garden. So that was my finished projects, and I also have 2 whips with me. The first one is this cardigan. It's gonna be a cardigan. It's called, oh, this was just so hard to show it up. It's called Skognymfejakke. It's a Norwegian pattern and designer, and I have a little bit more on the sleeve to go, and picking up the neck ribbing and cut up the sticks and do the button bands and so. But I'm gonna show you this next episode too, because I have the most beautiful buttons to this cardigan. It's so beautiful. I love the buttons to this one. And I also have started on, oh, this is the right side. So I hope you can see it. This is the back piece of daffodil of Wallins. This might just sound funny, but I had never heard about merino Wallins before, and as I said, I have been knitting for 21 years, and I am a big fan of fair art. So how in earth can I have missed her? Yes, I wonder so too. And I was watching when I was in the hospital in the last when I had my last surgery, and looking at the podcast Knitting with Cat Hair. That's Nikki from Canada, and she had made the cardigan chestnuts for Marie Wallins, and I fall in love. and then she cast on this daffodil, but in the lightest muted peachy pink color, so beautiful, and I fall in love immediately. Oh wow. So now I have found a new favorite designer, Wallins. So it's gonna be very much trending knittings and Fair Isle, and this is lace work that you see. So, but lace work is not my cup of tea, but this one I did fall in love with, so I just had to do it for my mom. That's just what I do. Most thing I do is for my mom. This is not for my children, it's for my mom, because she loves to wear the garments I make her, and she loves colors. I love muted colors. She loves bright colors, and she loves colors who I would never ever think of to putting together. And she likes crop cardigans, and she loves more fitted sweaters, and not the regular ones wears. So she wants this to be a little more odd, and I think it's so funny to knit that. So I also have watched a bit of Alice Starmore's designs lately, and I have found some really fun and beautiful cardigans. So I will have some projects on the future episodes, I promise. But now I'm stuck with my Wallins. I would love to do the chestnuts that Nikki knitting with cat hair did. Oh my god, she did it so beautiful. Oh, it's amazing. Knitting the chestnuts cardigan, I used to have to do, and I'm gonna make it for myself. Yes, not for my mom, for myself. And I also gonna knit very soon chicane from Humanits, and that will probably be the one and only time you will see me wearing pink, because I have promised my husband to do it in pink and for myself. So yeah, I will knit that too very soon. I don't used to have so many works in progress. I did before I get this injury on my shoulder. Used to have one project at a time to knit down, and yeah, so but now I want to do everything, and I will start everything right now. The only thing who's stopping me is that I don't have any more knitting needles, so I cannot have more than 12 projects at the same time. So, and blanket don't count. So I used to tell my husband that, because he's say, you have your knitting stuff everywhere. Yeah, but I don't have a car engine in my living room, and I don't have car parts in my sofa. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. Knitting stuff is more cozy and softer and car parts, so I cannot complain. No, it's not allowed to complain. No. So this was a little bit about knitting. This is more like an introduction video, and I will try to have an episode out every week. So yeah, that was all for me this time. So Bye. Hope to see you soon.